Yeah, so starting with the soles of the feet together, laying on your backs, also known as Superbadakanasana. How are you? Yep. And if you do have a block or a pillow and you want to slide it underneath your feet and just kind of experiment with a different feeling in your body, that's kind of nice. Feel your lower back press into the mat. Yeah. And just connect to your breath. So a few cycles of breath on your own, not paying too much attention to I need to inhale or I need to exhale. Just kind of letting your body just respond to just being still. And then we start to tap into the breath that we use throughout the practice, also known as Ujjayi breathing. Inhalation is through the nose, through the back of the throat. Exhalation is also through the nose. For those of us that are athletes, it's very different and challenging to do this breath. We're used to breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Blink your eyes open if they're closed. You just do your best. Take your feet flat to the floor. The left leg's gonna stay bent like a little mountain. The right leg's gonna extend straight up towards the sky. Flex your foot. Take your arms flat down alongside your body. Have your palms pressing firmly into the mat. That's gonna keep your lower back down. Keep the lift of the right leg and just flex. Begin to feel the length of your back. Right leg, almost like your right foot is just standing on the ceiling. Just hold it up in space and make sure that it's not wavering too close to you or too far away. It's directly over the hip girdle. Hold. Inhale the breath, feel your lower back press firmly into the mat, your navel draw in, and then with your right foot very extended and flexed, lift your left arm straight up like it's gonna touch. Now here, you begin to pull yourself up and see if you can touch your fingertips to your toes and hold. Draw the right hand more into the mat. Yeah. We're gonna do very slow motion here. Very slow, the right leg starts to lower. It's gonna hover the mat. The left arm reaches straight back with the palm facing up. Everything is hovering, hold. The right palm is flat, the neck is long, your just gaze is soft up. Take it back up towards the sky. Move like you're moving through molasses. Touch the toes if you can, or in the general direction. And then do it again, very, very slow. You start to feel your body as it just hovers the earth. Again, pull it back up. Good. And then very, very slow, start to let it lengthen and feel. Again, reach it up. Again, lower it down. The slower you move, the more you'll gain. Good. Pull it back up. Good. Lower it down. Let it hover. Pull it back up. Pause. Keep your right leg lifted. Take your left arm back down. Pause the way we were. Keep the lift of the right leg, contract the thigh bone, let the neck and the shoulders go, rebend the right foot, take it to the floor. Just keep the palms down to start, left leg extends up. Left leg just floats to the sky like you're standing on the ceiling. Just feel the length of the back left leg. Really important to just do things slow, especially in the beginning of the practice. Keep the left arm flat to the ground. Reach the right arm straight up. Just reach it straight up to start. So your arm is straight and your leg is straight and your lower back is pressing into the mat. So for some of us with bad backs, this is as much as you may even do. Pull yourself up now. See if you can tap your toes, but hold. Just in the general direction, keep the neck long. And then very slow, start to lower the leg and the arm so it hovers. My block is in the way. Good, pull it back up, nice and slow. See if you can tap or get close. Start to lower very, very slow back down. Just like this, pull it back up. Link the breath. Lower it really slow back down. Pull it back up. Good, keep going, lower it down really, really slow. Again, pull it back up. Lower it down really, really slow. Last time, pull it up. Hold. Keep the left leg lifted, reach the right arm back down. So then the leg is lifted, the shoulders are lifted, the lower belly's in. Good, palms are down, both legs up, neck long. So you have a 90-degree angle, the shoulder blades draw up off the mat. Slide the palms more forward, bend your knees in half like a 90-degree angle, flex your feet. Slide the palms more forward, draw the navel in, Pull yourself up to an amended boat with your hands on the ground. Keep the palms down, bend the legs. The legs aren't even close to being straight. We're not interested in that. We're really interested in keeping our low back, pelvis, and everything very aligned. Flex the toes to the nose, broaden across the upper shoulders, draw the navel in, draw the thighs closer to you, hold. Keep pressing the hands down into the floor. Take another big breath in. Cross the ankles, place the hands down, step to a tabletop position. Tabletop position. Stack the hands now so they're directly underneath the shoulders. The knees go underneath the hips. Slide the right leg back like you're in Warrior 3. Your toes lift up off the ground. The thigh bone engages. The left arm extends forward towards the front of the room, or if you're outside, reach towards the ocean. Lucky you. Keep your gaze on one spot. So just finding your body in space, proprioception. Very slow movement, ladies. You're going to slide your left arm alongside your left ribs and your right knee towards the outer part of your right, outer arm. Do it slow. Do it again. Reach in opposite directions. Keep your gaze down. Left elbow slides towards the outer part of your body. Right knee towards right tricep. It's a slow movement. Do it slow. Press down more. Again, reach across your body. One more time. Hug it in. So you're kind of going to the outer edges of your body. Good. Slide the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Pause. Keep the lift of your right leg. Take the left palm down. Curl the left toes into the mat. Three-legged downward facing dog looks just like this. Lift the right leg only as high as the left hip. So you're not opening the hip. Press and firm up the sides of your body. Bend your right knee in half. Lift from the thigh bone. Flex the foot. Just create a 90-degree angle. And just very gently begin to open up the front side of your right thigh. Feel your inner thighs hug in. Grip your left hip back. Flex your right toes a little bit more. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Grip your outer arms in. Start to look forward in between your hands. As you roll forward and you hug your bent right leg in, land the knee and the knees back down to the ground, tabletop position. Yeah, just pause. Good. Left leg extends back. If you don't know right from left, you're pretty much screwed right now. Right arm reaches forward. Yeah. Just pause for a second. So what you want to feel here is your outer arm gripping in, so you can really get the pelvis to neutralize, the belly draws in. Slow movement. Left knee, outer left tricep, right arm slides right by the side of your ribs. Pause. Extend in opposite directions. Hug in, outer edges of your body, draw. Your gaze is forward. Reach in opposite directions. One more time, hug it in. Outer edges of your body, draw in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Keep the leg lifted. Take the right palm down. Curl the toes, three-legged downward facing dog. Just lift from the inner thigh. Keep the hips squared. Firm up the palms. You can always bend behind your right knee if it's a little tight. Bend your left leg in half. Flex your foot. Flex it. Now lift from the thigh bone, let the head go, grip the outer arms in. Plug down to get a little bit more space. Two more breaths, let the head go. Begin to look forward, Slide your left knee all the way forward. This time land your left foot in between your hands, come to your fingertips, you're in a low lunge. Swing the right foot forward to meet the left. Long spine on the inhale breath. You can bend behind your knees as much as you need this morning. Exhale, fold over yourself. Do that again. Long spine. When I say long spine, ideally you want your fingertips and your toes to all line up. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Anchor. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. Ground yourself. Feel your feet on the floor. Drop your arms by your side body. Just experience the practice, whatever it's going to give for you today. Stretch your arms straight up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. Take two big steps back to a plank. Pause here in plank. Take a few cycles of breath. Begin to feel your body as it kind of just begins to stabilize. Press into the mat. Grip the sides of your body in and up. You can always modify with your knees down. Lift your hip points up an inch. Yeah, these look good. Roll more weight forward onto your tippy toes. A very slow chaturanga, or drop your knees if you need support. Bend your elbows in half. Chaturanga or knees can drop. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Good. Look to the top of the mat. Just this time, glide your right foot forward. Come to your fingertips. Slide your left foot to meet it. Long spine. Remind yourself your hands can always come to the front of your shins. Fold over your legs. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Stretch your arms straight up. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Come to the fingertips. Long spine. 2 big steps. Plank position. Bend your elbows for a slow chaturanga, or drop your knees, or you can skip altogether. Slide your chest through now for an up dog. New breath. From your hips, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Anchor your hands. Feel the sides of your body begin to really lift you. Look to the top, the towel. You may take 2 big steps or a light float if you're interested. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Here we go. Stretch your arms up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, 2 big steps or a light float to a chaturanga. Do it slow and methodically. Upward facing slides you through. Downward facing, hips press you back. Press down into the mat to get a little bit more energy, a little bit more grounding. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Stretch your arms straight up towards the sky. Sit into a chair pose for me. Weight goes into your heels. Good. Your seat moves back, your thighs move back, your chest and your waist has to lift up. Something about this posture in the home practice, I don't know what it is, but I think we all have like a love-hate relationship with it. Sit a little deeper, or a hate-hate relationship. Yeah. Elbows to fingertips. Reach your arms up. Yeah. Drag the seat back a little bit more. Hang with it. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step or float to your chaturanga. Upward facing slides you through. Downward facing presses you back. Roll forward to plank and hold. Yeah. Right knee, right tricep, just in the general direction. Do your best with it. Right leg back, 3-legged plank, pause, the foot is hovering the mat. Right knee straight in, hug it in. Hug it in tight, keep looking forward. Right leg back, 3-legged plank. Keep the foot hovering, lift the right leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Draw the waist up, feel your inner thighs. Very slowly start to walk your hands towards your left foot. So I have the wall behind me, I'm a little close. Yeah, so I'm not gonna get so far. I have to walk forward a little. Now you're trying to get your fingertips to line up with your left toes. Bend behind your knee as much as you may need to and lift from your right inner thigh, let your head go. The trick in standing split, after all these years of practicing, is to see if you can soften your shoulders, believe it or not. And then draw your torso closer towards the front of your left thigh. And then lift from the inner thigh. Let the head go. Good. Take the palms flat to the ground. Very slowly, don't be in a rush, creep out to a 3-legged down dog. Keep the lift of the inner thigh. Yeah. Broaden across the upper shoulders. Keep the lift of the leg. Roll forward. Hug your knee to your navel again. Broaden across the upper shoulder blades. Keep the gaze just a little forward. Land the right foot forward. Stay high in the ball of your back foot. You're going to stay close to the floor right here. Left hand down, right arm open into an easy twist. Great opportunity to use a block. Slide it underneath your left hand. Any direction that works for you. Stack the 2 shoulders nicely on top of one another. Grip your right glute underneath you. Really make sure that your right foot is aiming forward. And remind yourself the twist isn't happening in your low back. It's happening from above the upper part of your ribs, your thoracic spine. Feel the weight in your right heel. Grip the hips underneath you. Activate your left leg a little more. And then see if you can bring your gaze, known as your drishti, up. Couple more. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Just move your block to the outside of your foot. Good, you're gonna go ahead and turn your back foot onto its side. Now you're heel to heel with your feet. Triangle pose from the ground up. So my hips are opening towards you. My right hand on my right shin and my left arm up. I told you I have the block here just in case your low back is sensitive this morning. You can slide it underneath your right hand. That's a good alternative. We're looking for a little series of triangles in our body. Yeah. Lift from the side of your body, stack the two arms. Light, effective poses. Back leg is on a little bit of an angle. Yeah. Stay with it for a little longer. Yeah, soften behind your right knee so you're not so bendy. And really feel the outer parts and the inner part of your legs securing you. These look great. If looking up begins to be too much, just look neutral. Two more. They're having a very intense Fortnite game here, and we hear like a lot of yelling coming from the other side of the house. It's very funny. Who would have ever thought? Look down, circle both hands to the floor. Just gonna step to a down dog. Downward facing dog, just pausing your down dog. And then go ahead, if this feels good to you, roll forward to a plank. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Drag yourself through a nice upward facing. Stay close to the floor if you can. Rebend your toes, chaturanga from the floor. Very softly, very slowly. Plank position, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank. Take your left knee, left tricep, just in the general direction. Slide the left foot back so it hovers, three-legged plank. Hug the left knee in. Yeah, keep looking forward. That's gonna help you round your back just a little and kind of create a little bit more support. Slide the left foot back. Let it hover, three-legged downward facing dog. Lift from your inner thigh, don't open your hip. Turn the thigh down, spread the right toes. Bend behind your right knee as much as you need, and then very slowly start to walk your hands towards your foot. Good. As you start to walk your hands towards your right foot. Yeah. You just do the best that you can with it. That's it. Yeah, and your goal here is to see if you can get your fingertips to line up with the toes, soften the shoulders, draw the navel in. I always have to bend behind my right knee a little bit. Don't open your hip, keep the hips nice and squared. You wanna feel this in the meaty part. You're probably gonna feel it into your glute. Let your head hang a little softer. Get the palms flat if you can, and slowly start to creep back up out to a three-legged downward facing dog. Keep the lift of the inner thigh, roll forward, drag your left knee in, plank position, hugging the knee towards the navel. You may even wanna round your spine a little. Glide your left foot forward and through. Tent your right hand. Go ahead and peel the left arm open, easy twist. Slide a block underneath your hand. Swing the left hip back. Activate your back leg. Stack the two shoulders. Support before movement, and then reconnect with your breath. So trying not to run away from the pose, just getting to the posture and seeing what you can do with it. Zip up the inner and outer thighs, hang with it. Turn your belly up, look up. Good, look to the floor, take both hands down. If your hand was on a block, just move it to the outside of the calf. Turn your right foot on an angle, straighten your left leg. From the ground up, we're moving to Trikonasana, triangle pose. I like to use the back of my palm and press it against the inside of the calf. That's just one option you can explore with. Slide the right arm up. You want to soften your shoulders, let them slide down the back, and then lift from your waist. Your back right leg is really on an angle here. You can always slide your hand to a block to the outside of the calf. It's up to you what you need. More breath and more feeling as you come here. Begin to feel your breath. Don't just hear it, but feel it. Stay for a few more. Two more. Look to the floor, circle both hands down. This time I want you to creep your left foot to the center, spring your right foot forward. Come to the fingertips, long spine, fold over your legs. Sit into a strong chair pose, weight goes into your heels. Let your seat move back, let your chest lift. This is our happy place. Haha. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step or float, chaturanga. It's up to you. Upward facing, downward facing. Land your right foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Anchor and rise. Outer blade of back foot presses down, left ribs turn forward, and right hip swings back. Good. Hands come down to frame your front foot to a plank, vinyasa or not. Upward facing, broad in the chest, downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot onto its side, warrior one, anchor and rise. Aren't we having fun? Root to rise. Hands come down, you should find your way right to a plank, chaturanga. Upward facing, fire up your thighs, point your toes. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Take a deep breath in, let your head go. Take a deep breath out. Press down through the mat, look where you want to land. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. You just definitely want to keep the weight more forward. Fold over your legs. Sit again into a strong chair. So you never want to tuck your tailbone in chair. You want to let your seat just move back. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. Two big steps or a light float, chaturanga. Upward facing, slide your chest through your body. Keep the neck neutral. Downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Looking good, hands to the floor, plank. Bend your elbows, feel what you're doing. Drag yourself through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog. Land your left foot forward, turn your back foot, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Upward facing slides you through. Downward facing presses you back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more, look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair, weight goes into your heels. Dig your heels a little more into the mat. Get a little gritty with it. Sit a little deeper. We got nothing to lose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step or float. Chaturanga, upward facing. Downward facing, right foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. They never get old. Hands to the floor, plank. Take your time. Upward facing dog is a new breath if you can link it. Downward facing dog back. Left foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Hands come down, plank position. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. So you're going to separate your feet just a tiny bit wider right here, like, I don't know, 3/5, 4/5. Good. And then look forward, lean onto your left hand. You're going to go into a side plank like this. Your right foot is kind of in a warrior two position. Your left foot, you're on the blade. Right arm extends up. So you're going to use the strength of your right leg to really press into the mat and keep you anchored. Spread your right arm and then look up. Good. Lift a little higher from your bottom hip. Maybe take your top arm and reach it forward. If the arm feels a little jammed up, just have it straight up towards the sky. Lift from the bottom hip, anchor the right foot, press a little more into the mat. Good. If the arm reached forward, stretch it straight up. Look to the floor. Come back to this plank position with your feet a little wider. Just pause. Just pause. Lengthen your tailbone. Draw the navel in. Keep your gaze a little forward. Lean onto your right hand. Turn the other direction. So your left foot is staggered in front. It's on a strong angle, and you should be able to press the whole foot into the mat. Lift from your bottom hip. You're on the blade of your right foot. Yeah. Top arm can reach up and forward if you want a little bit more energy. Good. And then breathe. You can always drop down to your knee if it's too intense. Because a yoga teacher's telling you to do something doesn't mean it's right for you. So lift up. Plenty of modifications. Lift a little higher. If the arm draped forward, reach it straight up first. Look to the floor. Arrive back in a wider bit of plank. So now your feet are still a little separated. Your neck is neutral. With your feet a little wider, bend your elbows in half chaturanga. With your feet a little wider, take an upward facing dog. Good. Take a downward facing dog, hips pressed back. They might have naturally just drifted back together, just out of habit. Look forward, glide your right foot forward, turn your back foot onto its side, warrior one. We have a lot of habits in here. You don't even realize half the time what you're doing. Drop your arms by your side body. Just take a breather. Take a breath in, broaden across the upper shoulder blades. Take a breath out. Steer your right hip back for me without doing anything. Just think right hip back, left thigh forward, left ribs forward. Clasp your hands loosely behind your back. Yes, if you can straighten your arms, that's great. If you can't, you don't force it. Broaden the chest, anchor the right foot down. Inhale the breath, exhale, start to come forward. So as you come into this humble, it is quite humbling. Quite humbling. Yeah. Wrap your right hip underneath you. Some people are more bendy and they can get their right shoulder in between the instep of the right thigh without letting that hip jut out. Others of us are a little stiffer and we can't go as deep or far. So you just work with your own body today. Let your head go if you can. Keep turning your left thigh and your left ribs and waist forward. Press more into your right heel. Grip the outer hips underneath you. Make sure you're not clenching your toes. Feel the weight evenly distributed. Hold. Keep the legs the way that they are, okay? Come up just halfway and pause. Just halfway. So now you're hovering your right thigh. Separate your hands that are clasped behind your back so the palms just face down. I want the palms to face down and really create the broadening of the chest. Now, your left hand's gonna come to your left hip and your right arm's gonna slide forward like we're shaking hands. This is all that's happening. I'm staying really low and I'm hovering. Don't go anywhere yet. Grip your right hip back, look down. You see your right foot, you wanna keep it forward. Reach for a block, slide it off the edge of that right baby toe a little forward, and without moving your foot at all, float up into a half moon. Do the best that you can. You may find yourself a little wobbly. That's all right. Slide the left arm up towards the ceiling if you have the stability, or arm can just rest alongside the body, or hand may stay on your hip. So the habit of the foot turning is common for most of us. The bottom foot wants to kind of do a little party. Stack the two shoulder blades. Yeah. Spark up the top left toes. And then see if you can get a little lighter with your bottom hand. You may even come to 3 fingers or 2 fingers, or bring your bottom hand into a prayer. You may fall 17 times in this posture today. That is okay. Yoga is a practice. It's not meant to be perfect. Stay with me. You're doing great. Turn up your bottom ribs. We're having a domino effect over here. We're holding each other up by a thread. Okay, wherever you are, regular half moon, you're gonna look down. Bring your left hand to your hip, take a giant step back, warrior two. These were not pretty transitions today. Broaden your arms and your chest. Yeah, take a second to kind of reevaluate your feet, make sure they're on the mat still. Yeah, your right foot is forward, your back foot is on a strong angle, turning towards your right foot, and your right thigh drops down. Broaden your arms and your chest, and just pause here. Take a few moments to just let your body absorb the posture. Your chest is lifted, the sides of your body are holding you up, and then close your eyes, 5 breaths. Lengthen your tailbone, ladies, and sit deeper. Use your breath to feel the posture more. Keep the angle of your leg. Start to take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Extended side angle A. A block is great here, any direction. Left arm just stretches straight up and then look up. Just start with the real basic version. Right arm can also rest on the top of your right thigh if you're just looking for a little bit more of a moderate way to be in it. Grip your right glute underneath you. Maybe take your top arm and wrap it forward. Moving from your bicep, baby finger will begin to turn towards the ground. Keep sliding your right hip back, turning your bottom ribs open towards the ceiling, and then looking up a little if you can. Looks great, Maria. Really nice work, everyone. Lighten your load. Think a little less, feel a little bit more right here. If the arm wrap forward, stretch it straight up, anchor your feet and your legs without any bounce, warrior two. Warrior two. Look forward, circle both hands to the floor. Vinyasa or not, it's up to you. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Land your left foot forward, turn your back foot onto its side. Have your block as you know you'll probably need it. Warrior one, bring it up. It's a pretty big step. Feel your feet, feel your body. Drop your arms by your side body. Before you go anywhere, steer your left hip back. Think about your right ribs turning forward. Really get some stability here. Interlace your hands behind your back. If you could remember the grip, switch it. Inhale the breath, and then begin to come forward. First, we take our humble. So less is more in this practice. I'd rather you go to a place where you could really feel and engage than just kind of go to your end range and hang out. No changes happening there. Keep sliding your left hip back and your right thigh and ribs forward. And then maybe on this side, you can get a little deeper. Maybe you have to back out. Your shoulder may drape into the instep of the left thigh bone. Let the head go. Keep using the back leg. That's where the strength of the pose, yeah, is coming from. Right thigh back though. Left hip back is what I mean. Inner and outer thighs working. Waist staying nice and long. Keep pressing down. Keep the shape of your legs. Don't bounce up. Just come up halfway and pause. You're hovering. Swing your left hip back. Feel the thigh bone draw back. Reach your arms back like a set of airplane wings with your palms facing down. Take your right hand, just bring it to your hip. Slide your left arm forward like we're shaking hands. Don't go yet. Stay here. Keep dragging your hip back. Keep lengthening. And then with that motion, reach out in front of you. Keep your left foot forward and very slowly transferring that weight and moving into your half moon. So it's a slow evolution. Anything too quick is never good. Right arm extends up if you're working on that, or the arm can stay by the side body. Bottom ribs need to turn. Your gaze, your drishti may move up the wall or up the side wall or up the ceiling or towards the sky. Grip your left hip underneath you and then work on your balance, your variation of this. Maybe getting lighter in your bottom hand. Maybe the hand coming to a prayer. Spark up your right toes. Keep lifting from your inner thigh. Stay with it. A few more. Come back to a regular half moon if you explored anything else. Good. Take your right hand to your hip, guys. Take a giant step back and find warrior two. Warrior two. Yeah. And take a second to settle into your warrior two. Back foot is on a strong angle. Arms are reaching across your body. It's a powerful pose. Enjoy it. Close your eyes and settle in for a few breaths. Feel your breath move through your body. That's your energy right there. It's pretty cool. You create your own energy. Lengthen. And use both your arms. You got two for a reason, so stretch across your body. Turn up the inner part of your thigh. Notice the nature. We want to kind of turn in, so keep wrapping open. Couple more. They say it's good for you. Wink, wink. Sit a little deeper. If the eyes closed, come back to us. Begin to move into your version of extended side angle A. We're going outside a foot today. Arm can also rest on the top of the thigh. You can start with the right arm up. You can always slide your hand to your hip if something's going on. Look up. Turn up your bottom ribs. Grip your left hip underneath you. As an athlete, this is one of the hardest poses to do, but do it right. Yeah, because if your hips are tight, it's really hard to get that hip underneath you. It's easy to be in this pose and be sloppy. So it's much more challenging to do it correctly. Grip the hip underneath you, and you kind of feel like you're leaning back a tiny bit, but in no shape or form is this a back bend. Top arm might wrap forward. Glance underneath your armpit up towards the sky. It looks like Maria's got the best view, so look up. And about now is when you want to kind of just say, okay, I've had enough, but we're going to stay just a drop longer. Make sure the leg isn't moving away from your arm. Keep pressing the outer part of the left leg against the inside of the left arm. 3 more breaths. Make them good. Make them count for you. Top arm extends up without any bounce. Warrior two. Warrior two. Nice work. Circle the hands to the floor, vinyasa or not. It's up to you. Bend your elbows. Drag yourself through an up dog. I know this feels good for me, so for most people, it probably feels pretty good. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Just root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Hug your right knee to your navel. Draw it in. Yeah. Grab below the kneecap. Draw in the leg. So for today's practice, if you can, you're going to crisscross your wrists and you're going to grab the base of your foot. Okay? This may be as far as you go for today, because what I want is your shoulders to drop down your back, your thigh bone to draw in, and your belly to engage. And for you to find the best version of standing up tall without letting go of that. If you'd like to add on, the leg will extend forward. So when you extend the leg forward, your whole body doesn't move forward with it. You may keep a bend in your right leg. Left leg is pretty strong and straight. Thigh bone of your left leg grips back. Side of your body stays long. Flex your toes. Draw the navel into the back of the spine. Lift the ribs up and look forward. You can do this with a bent knee. It's totally cool. Stay with it. Good. Your left hand's going to stay on the outer part of the right foot. The right arm's going to begin to reach back. So you're going into dancing Shiva version of this. Right arm reaches back. Hand can go to the flat part of your back if it's too much. Leg can also bend, and you can do it with a bent leg. This is the alternative. As you begin to twist, lengthen your body. Stand up nice and upright. Reach back more with your right arm. Lengthen the tailbone down and extend the crown of the head up. Begin to bring your gaze forward. Do this really slow, guys. See if you can bring your right arm, wrap it back forward the way that you were. Stand up tall. You got this. Draw the navel in. Rebend the legs. You're getting out the way you went in. Take your arms straight up. Keep the leg bent in half. Draw the navel in. Let the side of the body lift you up. Lower the right foot down. Sit into a chair pose really low. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist to the right. So doing things and really feeling what you're doing. Weight back. Remember what I told you about chair? Yeah. Let your seat move back. Let the weight move into your heels. Let the crown of the head move forward and then twist with as a rib. Maybe look up. It may feel good to open up your arms. So give it a whirl. See what happens. Yeah. If you're dying for a side crow, this would be the place to do it. Bend your arms, chaturanga-like arms, and you'll balance on that first tricep. If not, continue to twist and sit. Couple more. Wherever you are, pull yourself back around to a strong chair, look forward. Chair pose, press up to stand, draw your hands to prayer. That was good, drop your arms. Let it go, just leave it behind, take a second. Okay, here we go. Standing on your right leg, draw your left leg in, do that much first. Yeah, grab below the kneecap. This may be where you stay. I like to take things in steps because some days just don't work out. Crisscross at your wrists and go ahead and grab the base of your foot. I'm balancing like I'm on a boat today. Hug the knee in. It's the vibration of the Fortnite game downstairs. Stand up tall. This may be as far as you go. Each side's a little different. Draw the navel in, draw the waist up, draw the shoulders down the back, and then from here, start to experiment with the kick. Maybe the leg goes forward. The wrists are still crisscrossed. The right thigh bone draws back. The waist is long. Spark up your toes, pick a drifty spot. Stay with your breath, keep the hand in the outer part of the foot. Begin to peel the left arm back. This can be done with a bent knee. Stand up nice and tall. I'd rather your legs have a little bend than pin straight, both of them. Extend the left arm back a little bit more, lengthen the tailbone, and let the crown of the head extend up. Move your eyes with you if you can. Keep everything the shape that it is if you can. Start to bring your eyes forward first, then wrap your arm back forward for the crisscross hands. Then bend the leg back in towards the chest. Good, let go of the foot, bring the arms up. Lengthen the tailbone, draw the belly in, lower the left foot down. Sit one last time, chair pose, because we love it so much. Drag the hands to prayer, inhale that breath, hook the elbow and take your twist. Alignment first, check down, make sure that's happening for you. Feet, knees, shins, everything moving in the same line of energy. I can actually open up my arms today, which rarely happens. Yeah, give it a try. Side crow, if you want to go, now's your time. Nice work. Yes. Drop your seat a little bit if you're in side crow, so your tush isn't so high. Yeah. 2 more breaths. Keep the shape of your legs. Wherever you are, meet us in a chair. I guess I lied because we're back in it. Press up to stand, draw your hands to prayer. Good, drop your arms. Have some blocks at the top of your mat. I'm gonna take mine the high direction. If you only have one, it goes in the center. If you're near a ledge, you can turn towards that ledge. Standing right leg is gonna be the balancing leg. Arms are gonna reach back like airplane wings. Good, like a pendulum moving. You're gonna find warrior 3. Very, very slow. It's a tip of the pelvis and then your chest begins to lift. Turn the thigh down like we did in that tabletop position early on. Good, if you need blocks, you slide them underneath your hands. Not a big deal. Lift a little more from your inner thigh. Now, bring your gaze down, bring your hands to your heart. Good, keeping everything where it is. Nothing's turning yet. Left hand's gonna come to the floor. Right hand's gonna come to the flat part of your back. Stop and pause here. Now, as you begin to turn your ribs right, lift your inner thigh a little more. Good. We're moving into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Soften behind your right knee a little. Yeah, maybe the right arm reaches up. See what happens. Stack the two shoulders the best that you can. Lift from the inner thigh. If you want to add more today, reach back with your hand, your right hand, grab your foot and begin to kick. So it's a bound revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Kick into the thigh, don't open the hip. The hips are squared towards the ground. Good. Keep turning your bottom ribs and maybe look up. Release the leg, release the arm. Good, look to the floor, right hand down, pause, keep the lift of the leg. Start to bring your hands down like we did early and frame your right foot. To me, this is a killer, so I'm with you. Soften your shoulders, lift from your inner thigh. Drape your torso down. Move your body closer to you. Come to the fingertips, giant step back, pause. Walk your right foot over to the right, come to your fingertips. Here we go, activate your back leg, sweep your arms out and up, high lunge. Hands to prayer, inhale that breath, hook the elbow, and here we go, let's twist. Grip your right hip behind you. Yep. Stay with it. I'm not holding this for too long, so. Zip up the inner thighs, activate your back leg, lean back a little bit. Good, stay with me. Look down, take both hands to the floor. All right, spring your left foot forward, hips width distance. Hook your big toes, inhale the spine, look forward, almost create a little arch. Exhale, fold. Open up your elbows, let your thumbs press into the mat. Lengthen your tailbone up, let your head go. Long spine on the inhale, hands slide to your hips, pull yourself up, stand up tall. A little bit more work, ladies, and then we'll be done. Drop your arms by your side body. Go ahead and slide your feet together for me, just for balance. Left leg is strong. Right leg's like a pendulum. Begin to move it back. Warrior three. Warrior three. Your left leg is the balancing leg. Right leg is back. Warrior three. Blocks underneath your hands if you need. Remember, I don't want the palms up. I want the palms down so you can broaden your chest. Feel the sides of your body, engage your core. Begin to move your gaze down. Just bring your hands to prayer to start. Good. Block underneath your right hand, left hand to the flat part of your back. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana, lift from your inner thigh, drive the leg up, and then stack the two shoulders on top of one another if you have that range. Good. If you'd like to add the bind, bend at your knee, reach back, grab your foot, kick up and back. The firing of the thigh is where you're getting that energy. Soften behind your left knee. Mine is significantly bent. Pelvis is neutral. Stay with it. Yeah. Release the right leg back, release the arm up or hand to hip. Good. Look to the floor, place both hands down and begin to fold over your left leg. Lift from your inner right thigh. Draw your torso closer. Soften the shoulders down your back. Come to the fingertips, long spine, giant step back into a lunge. Placement is key here. Walk your left foot over. Maybe you need to drop your back knee if you need to. Integrate the legs and come up high lunge. Steer your hips forward, lift from your waist, drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and let's twist. Activate the back leg, drive the back leg. Yeah. Weight is forward, crown of the head. Lean back a little. Open up your arms if you want more. Just stay as you are and be patient. A few more. Two more breaths. Look down, place both hands to the floor from here, plank position. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga. Upward facing, point your toes. Downward facing, back we go. Slide your right knee forward. Let's go into a half pigeon. We have to release all that. Right knee forward, half pigeon, and then fold. Make yourself comfortable in half pigeon. Yeah, if you're not comfortable, then alternative is to go onto your back and take ankle to knee and make this a little bit more passive. Yeah, not every posture is about like, you know, the world changing, your body changing. Sometimes it's little movements. Allow yourself to just drop into the pose. Enjoy it if you can. Plant your palms, curl your toes, trying to make this like one motion, like your arms engage and you just slide right back down dog. And then look forward, slide your left knee forward, one motion to get in, if you can, and then fold. Using your breath just to let your energy shift. Make sure the right thigh is down and the top of the right foot is on the ground, where the toes can be curled. Okay, to get out today, forearms are gonna go flat. So I normally do this into a plank, but I actually want you to try something else. So engage your right leg, and we're actually gonna shoot into a forearm dolphin pose. So press the forearms down, think of your hips and your waist lifting you up, and you have to move your hips as you slide your left leg back. So now you're in a dolphin pose, which is essentially a down dog on your forearms. Last little bit of effort, we're just gonna take a couple back bends after this, so just hang with me. If you feel the need that you have to go upside down today, this is the place to do it. Right, forearm stand, handstand, headstand. I like dolphin pose. This is an inversion. You can tighten up your stance and you could just work on hugging your outer arms in, maybe lifting your right leg up. Press down into the floor. And then lowering the right leg and then letting your left leg lift. Pressing down, drawing the navel in. And then lowering the left leg and then just pausing wherever you are in your variation of an inversion for the last few breaths. Grip the sides of the body in, lift the belly and the ribs, and press it down. Good, drop to your knees, slide your seat back, just sit up for a second. I wanna keep our energy going. And then slide your butt out from underneath you, bend your legs in half, and you're gonna find your way onto your back for our final back bending sequence. So as you lay down, I've been into taking a block, moving it with me. When I hit the floor, I check in with the alignment, fingertips skim the backs of the heels, the tailbone lifts, and then you could utilize your block either underneath your tailbone or in between your thighs. If you have two, you could do both. Fingertips have to stay touching the heels. You can take your arms into robot-like arms. Use the back of the triceps to help you. Lift your tailbone up. You can clasp your hands. Keep your neck neutral though. Lift from the tailbone to the backs of your knees. That's the space there that you need to get the back bend. And see if you can hug your shoulder blades together. Exhale the breath, lower down. Good. So depending on how warm you feel or what your body's doing, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, full wheel if that's available to you, or repeat what you just did. Bridge, supported bridge. Yeah, steer your feet forward. There you go, Kate, nice. Turn the thighs down and then lift from the tailbone, from the lower back to the backs of the knees. That's actually the space. Nice, Maria. So when you clasp your hands around the block, cup your shoulder blades together a little bit more, and that's where you're gonna get the back bend. Keep the legs elevated. Stay with me. Nice work. Exhale your breath. Start to move out of it really slow. If you're on a block with your legs up, you're welcome to stay a little longer. If you've come down, yeah, take a breath in, take a breath out. All right, hug your knees to your chest. Enough of that. Grab the outer edges of your feet. If you're up on a block, you can join us, or if you just want to, improvise, you can just stay lifted with your legs if that feels good. Just a quick happy baby. Draw the knees to the outer part of your ribs. Flex your feet. Broaden the chest and the shoulders to the mat. And then hug your knees in, and if you have that block, take it the long direction in between your thighs. Take your palms flat to the ground. Move your hips left and drop your knees to the right. So their hips and the knees are on the same line. Right hand on the top of the thigh. Left arm can reach out to keep you grounded. Very gentle supine twist. Come through center. Keep the block. Shift the hips to the right. Legs drop to the left. Supine twist going the other direction. Come up to center. Find your way to restorative pose, known as Shavasana. Separate your legs, separate your feet, drop your arms. Let your head go, close your eyes. All the work here is done. Draw a really deep breath in through your nose. At the top of the breath, try and hold the breath for a moment. And then exhale everything out. Drag your arms up over the top of your head. Like reach behind you and then reach through your toes. And then deliberately squeeze your knees to your chest. Give them a squeeze of gratitude. Like, be grateful you were able to do that. You're able to move. Rock yourself up. Come to a seated position. If you prefer just ignoring me, there's a good reason you're on mute. You can just stay there. Sit up really tall and just feel the practice. Feel how your body may have shifted, how your mind has shifted. Hopefully for the better. Hands to prayer. Have some gratitude for all that. Bow your head. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, guys.